Danny Ramdular is a busy 23-year-old. He's a student at Baruch College and has an on-campus job as an internship coordinator. He's also a paid intern himself at MTV. But at 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning, Danny is not on his way to work or school. Twice monthly, he has an appointment to get the blood transfusion that keeps him alive. He has needed transfusion since he was 8 months old, when doctors discovered he has a rare blood disorder called thalassemia.
Mr. Ramdular, R-A-M-D-U-L-A-R-D-A-N-I-E-L. He is B positive, MRN 2310992, getting O positive red cells.
The process that allows him and so many others to get the blood they need for transfusions, surgeries, and sudden emergencies is one that depends not only on medical science, but on the kindness and generosity of others. Let's find out how it works. It all starts with us, donating at blood drives run by organizations like the nonprofit New York Blood Center, held at places like Grand Central Terminal, where commuters add some time to their trips to help out. At schools like Hunter College, where students pitch in, and at those mobile donation vans we see parked around town. We visited a drive at the U.S. Postal Service's Morgan processing plant. Now, donating blood is pretty easy. It all starts with a quick screening process to make sure that you meet all the federal regulations for being a blood donor. The whole thing takes about 20 minutes and is more comfortable than you might think. First, some samples are set aside for later screening to make sure your blood is safe. Then it's time for your donation, about a pint. When the collection's over, it's all packed up in coolers, loaded into a blood center van, and driven to their processing center in Long Island City to be separated into its various components. The organization distributes to nearly 200 hospitals in the region, serving more than 20 million people. 2,000 units, or pints, of blood are collected each day to keep up with the demand. But before any of it is used, those samples you saw earlier are flown to a lab in Arizona.
There, they'll get tested for the infectious diseases that we need to test for, such as HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C.
Results are available in about 48 hours. During the wait, work begins to ready each donation for potential recipients. Blood has 4 main components: red blood cells, which carry oxygen, white blood cells, which help fight infections, plasma, a fluid that transports blood cells to your body, and platelets, cell fragments that help control bleeding. Platelets are usually donated using a special machine. So here in the component lab, the focus is on separating out plasma and red cells using a large centrifuge. Next, a special device removes the plasma portion. White blood cells are discarded because they could fight the recipient's system. Red blood cells are stored in the refrigerator. The plasma is frozen. It's a lot more comfortable where the platelets are stored, agitating at room temperature to guard against clotting.
Platelets?
Platelets have a 5-day shelf life. For red cells, it's 42. Frozen plasma can be stored for up to a year. In another room, techs receive the test results from Arizona. If someone's blood tests positive for an infectious disease, it's discarded. Blood deemed safe is labeled with a reconfirmed blood type. You may know yours, you may not, but it's one of these: A, B, AB, or O. It all depends on red cell antigens, substances in your body that determine your blood type, classified as A and B. Some people have one type on their blood cells, some have both, and some neither. That's type O. Other antigens on your blood cells indicate if you're Rh positive. If not, you're Rh negative. Get the wrong type, and the antigens can attack your body. Since type O negative has none on the cells, these donors are considered universal.
That person can give blood to anybody. If you're A, you're B, you're AB, you can still receive blood from somebody who's O.
You can't downplay the importance of any blood, but some is more valuable because it's so rare. And this is where the New York Blood Center keeps it. It's the largest inventory of rare blood in the entire world. There are actually 600 possible antigens that can be found in blood, but most are extremely rare. For carriers of those antigens, this frozen reserve, where blood can stay for up to 10 years, is essential.
The problem with when you freeze a unit of blood is when you thought the hospital has to get it and use it within 24 hours.
But for most, it's off to the blood center's hospital services department, where it's prepared for delivery to hospitals. Here in the hospital services refrigerator, this blood is ready to go. And you're seeing a big portion of the blood that's going to be used at New York City hospitals in the coming weeks. The blood center gets a variety of orders, some for next day delivery, some for same day, and for life-threatening situations. There are 2-hour emergency orders.
It happens up to 30 times a day, if not more. It's a little stressful, but at the end of the day, you go home and you know you've done something well.
Central Dispatch sends the blood products to hospitals like New York Presbyterian, Weill Cornell on the east side. There it's kept in a highly secured blood bank. Transfusion medicine and cellular therapy manager Kathleen Crowley undergoes an eye scan to enter. Inside, technicians test their patient's blood type, ID a potential donor match, and mix a sample of both to ensure compatibility. One of at least 20 checks to ensure the right blood is going to the right patient.
Because if we were to mistransfuse someone, give them the wrong bag of blood or the wrong blood type, it could cause a severe reaction in the patient, and that could cause death.
The blood is now ready for the patient. Goldie here is doing a final series of checks before it heads upstairs, where it will be put to very good use. A few minutes later, the blood arrives in Danny's room, where he waits for his transfusion. Currently, the only cure for thalassemia is a stem cell transplant, but a match is very difficult to find. So this blood is critically important for Danny and others like him.
It keeps these individuals in good health. It allows them to have a normal quality of life, go to work, go to college, do all of the things that everybody else would do.
You don't have to remind Danny, who could spend an entire day waiting for the 90-minute transfusion.
When I get a small cut on my finger and I see some blood, I always think like that's not mine, it's someone else's blood that's kind of surging through my body, and I try not to dwell on it or anything like that, but it's, every time I come here, it definitely, crosses my mind to kind of think about those who are donating and, how it is helping me, so.
And it continues to be up to you and me.
Your last name is?
Clark. So I decided to roll up my own sleeve, all part of making sure this system, based on the power of giving, keeps pumping. So that's how your blood donation saves lives. And that's how New York City works. Roger Clark, New York 1.